Well, I discovered a problem with my homemade carriage lock, and the problem is it works for me with most of the stuff I'm doing, but I was wanting to do a complete face-off of a piece, and when I get close to it with this Gibbs screw, that Gibbs screw actually hits that bolt. So I need to countersink this bolt into the carriage. So let's go and do that, and should be a quick little fix. Well, this bolt head is 13.02 millimeters, and I think the closest I have is this half-inch bit. It's 13.41. So let's go ahead and drill this out. This might mean I have to drill this out in phases. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Ready to go. That's working. Almost. There we go. That should do it. And now he'll go right. Maybe a little bit more. Get him just about flush. There we go. So we have countersunk that bolt for the carriage lock, which now I can lock the carriage, I can unlock the carriage. That's cool. Unlock it, and we have adequate travel of that Gibbs screw, so that Gibbs screw is not interfering with it, so I can go all the way in as far as I want to go and come out. So that is a very good thing. But we discovered another issue, and this is not locked down. I gotta lock that, relock that down. If I want to pull my carriage back, oops, this bolt now hits this casting. So the bolt now, because I've countersunk it, is too long. So I need to either cut this bolt down, probably about 5 millimeters or so, maybe 6, or get a different bolt. So let's go ahead and just take this bolt out and we'll cut him down. Let's just measure. So I've got this hole right over that casting, and if I measure from the top of the slide of the carriage all the way down so it hits that casting, that's 37.43. And I got a 35 millimeter bolt, that's why it was working fine. And then I have counter drilled this hole now, let's say 8 millimeters. So I just need to calculate what I need to take off of that bolt so that I won't hit that casting. Now we cut it off. And I really didn't mess up the threads either. This guy still goes on and off really easy, so that's a win. So let's put him back on the lathe and see if we got that clearance now. Alright. Put this guy down here. Get him in there. And that into that piece. Okay. And he clears those castings now. That's great. All right. Clears those castings, and this guy clears that head. So that's a little improvement. Now I did have to loosen my quick change tool post here so that I could get to the carriage lock to make this adjustment to it. Improvement. And now he's out of square, so let's just re-square him up. The easiest way I found is just take a 3-2-1 block, which is a machined block that you can buy on Amazon or little machine shop. It's basically a perfectly squared, milled piece of steel. It's very, very, very square. So we just put him against the face of the chuck here and make sure that the jaws are out of the way. Move the carriage in until he is pretty much centered in there. Bring him in and push him till that tool post is right up against that 3-2-1 block, and then he is square to the face of the chuck. And then just tighten him down, check in, make sure he stays that way, and he's square. Easy breezy. Just a little side note, when I started this whole journey, I didn't know the difference between a carriage lock and a carriage stop. And the lock, of course, is the thing that I built. Whenever you tighten this guy down here, he basically keeps your carriage from moving either in or out. So that carriage doesn't move in or out. So if you're facing or cutting, it won't push the carriage out, or if you're doing anything, it won't push the carriage in. So it's basically just locked in place. And that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of uses for that. And I have uses for that. So if you undo it, then you can move your carriage. A carriage stop like this just keeps it from going any further in. So you can set the carriage stop wherever you want it. You can move it back and lock it down, and then it will keep your carriage from going too far in. Like that's too far in right there. I would actually hit my cross slide, so that would be a bad thing. So let's just move this carriage stop out some. And then it won't go any further in. And that kind of keeps you from bashing against your chuck, or if you're drilling into a certain depth and you want to do that repeatable, you can do that. There's even a fine adjustment. And this, I got this off a little machine shop. It's like $10, $12. So this is highly worth it. This nice little accessory to have, but it wasn't helping me keep my carriage from coming out when I'm surfacing or anything. So that's why I built this carriage lock, and there really wasn't any bolt-on solution I could find for it, so I had to build that. So please don't call me a YouTube machinist. I am not a machinist. I'm just trying to make this metal lathe do what I want for making wood rings and things. And that's what I do. I make wood rings from the decks of battleships, from Major League Baseball bats, from Lambeau Field, different woods that I have that I make rings from. And if you'd like to see some more wood rings or me making wood rings, check out some of my other videos. And or check out hillcountryrings.com. I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.